you've done to Sonic. I'll never forgive you for this.
Hello everyone, I am Third Mario Brother, and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure 2. In the last episode, we completed Eggman's last action stage, which was Cosmic Wall in pursuit of the 7th Chaos Emerald, and in preparation for world domination. In this episode, we're going to be obtaining that 7th Chaos Emerald by destroying Foxboy here, taking out this insolent threat once and for all, and taking over the world. And yes, we are preparing to fire the Eclipse Cannon at this point, which is even bigger than this laser. It will take out, not the entire planet, but enough of the planet to scare them under Eggman's rule. So yes, there we go. We've defeated Tails, we've launched Sonic into oblivion, and Eggman is ready to win it.
I guess he was just a regular hedgehog after all.
Legend has it when all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, the power creates a miracle. I have 6 of them. They're mine. All mine.
I don't think so.
Shadow.
So that was your plan. Or was it a direct order from the president? Now I know who you are. You're that government spy, Rouge the Bat, aren't you?
So you did your homework, is that it? I would say that's an invasion of privacy.
I can say the same thing about you.
Looks like things aren't quite going your way, but since my job was done, I thought it was time to take what's mine and get out of this place.
You are one pathetic creature.
Look who's talking. What about you? Here are the results of the research project called the Ultimate Life Form. But if this picture is of the real ultimate life form named Shadow, then exactly who or what is standing in front of me?
All 7 Chaos Emeralds! Someone's trying to get the Eclipse Cannon. There's not much time left before the cannon fires again. Can you get over there?
If you want to live, leave the Chaos Emeralds where they are. The fake emerald is good enough for you.
Do you actually believe that you're the real Shadow?
No
Even your
doubt.
memories might not be real, you know?
Even if my memories are not real, it's still me, Shadow, and I will fulfill my promise to Maria. That's the only thing that matters to me.
And now it's time for Shadow's final level, the final level of the Dark Story, and the final level of the regular stories in Sonic Adventure 2, Stage 14, Final Chase, in which we're going to have to head towards the Eclipse Cannon because, as we were informed by Dr. Eggman just a moment ago, somebody else is heading there to try to stop it from firing, which we will not permit. And we already know who that somebody is. It is Sonic the Hedgehog, who has miraculously survived that giant explosion in space, but that already kind of happened in the hero story, so there's no need for me to explain it again. Either way, we are taking on Final Chase now, right after Shadow got slapped in the face with a bunch of identity issues. Oh, that's kind of funny, isn't it? Good job, Rouge. You spawned a whole other game in the Sonic franchise, Shadow the Hedgehog, which is all about Shadow's identity issues. Either way, that was kind of hilarious. And another funny thing about that cutscene, before I start talking about something actually pertinent to what's going on right now, when Shadow figured out who Rouge was, he said, "You're that government spy, Rouge the Bat, aren't you?" And I always found that wording a little bit funny, because if she is that government spy, that means that there's a famous Rouge the Bat who specializes in treasure hunting. And when they first met this Rouge the Bat, Shadow and Eggman were none the wiser and figured, oh, this must be a different Rouge the Bat from the incredibly famous one who happens to specialize in the exact same thing. Either way, I don't know if that was just a translation error or if it was just badly written or something like that. I have no idea. It's hilarious either way, so I appreciate it fully. Anyway, Final Chase, not so great. Well, I really like this level. It is really intense, and I do love it overall, but I definitely prefer Final Chase, Sonic's version of this level, because of these giant green cylindrical things that we have been traversing so far, and that we will see plenty more of in the near future, because those things are a little bit glitchy and a little bit awkward to traverse. They are gravity-based, and as you guys saw, in Mad Space, Mad Space? Yes, Mad Space. Rouge's final level. I'm not especially good with gravity-based stuff in this game. I'm not very good at controlling around it. It often glitches out on me, and the same is true here, especially in those segments with these where you're supposed to go along it in an automated manner. Like, you run along some of them, and then you'll be just sucked off of them onto other ones, and yeah, it doesn't always work out. And the controls oftentimes flip upside down. They kind of did right there, but either way, this level isn't bad overall. I usually don't have any problems with these things, not any game-breaking problems at least, so I don't have that much to complain about. Whoa, oh my god! Oh, my heart is racing. That was so close. I cannot believe I fell down onto that platform, and I was not doing that on purpose. I don't know if you guys could tell by my exasperated noises and such, but I accidentally fell back onto that, and thank the 9 that I did, because I have no idea what I would have done otherwise. Probably just replayed the level or something like that. Either way, let's smash this artificial chaos in the face so that we might move on to the very end of the Dark story. And yes, after that Eggman vs. Tails boss fight, that is where the stories diverge, because we have Eggman winning that fight, and him now having control over all 7 Chaos Emeralds and Amy. He's not on the floor, he's not unconscious anymore. He instead is in control of the situation. He has all the Chaos Emeralds, unlike the 6 that he had in the hero story, although he did reach for the 7th one at the end. But the stories diverge after that battle, and I really like that. And this is the point where the dark side starts to win. And arguably, a couple episodes ago, I said that the Egg Golem was a little bit of a difference between the stories because Eggman never fought it in the hero story. I guess it could be said that Sonic kicking that thing in the head one time was a representation of his whole battle with it. So then afterward, Eggman had to fight it, regardless of whether we saw it or not in the hero story. But this is where the real differences begin, whether or not you believe that Eggman fought the Egg Golem. So let's go ahead and continue on and see if we can settle those differences by taking out Sonic here in a few minutes. So let's jump onto this. We don't have a bounce bracelet to work with this time around, so we don't get to fall down onto those rails quite as easily as we did the first time around in this level. Well, not in this level, but a level very similar to this. Sonic's version of this level is basically what I'm getting at here either way. Let's jump onto this rail and move on upward. And I don't think we went up any of those in Sonic's story. Instead, we just went down them. But Shadow likes a little bit of variety in his life, so he's going to go ahead and grab this electric shield and move on up to this. And yeah, these are the segments where things start getting a little bit awkward because there are so many directions that these things want to take you that you don't want to go. Let's, oh geez, okay. Let's not let that happen again. I suppose I should have taken another route or something, because this one doesn't seem like the safest of them. Either way, we have this rocket right here, which will take me away from this treachery, please. Even though we have 191 rings, I was a little bit nervous there that we were going to have some problems. So we're going to have to just hold the down stick and hope there's nothing that I'm going to run into on the way down. Oh boy, there's these giant meteors, which if you touch those things, they will do damage to you. But I suppose the game is designed so that you don't touch them. And oh god. See what I mean by this not working the best out of anything? Either way, we're at the goal. It doesn't matter anymore. 5 minutes and 10 seconds at this level, we have completed the final stage of the Dark story. And we're ready to defeat Sonic the Hedgehog and take over the world for the Eggman Empire. Let's do it!
Ultimate victory. You never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard.
So, there's more to you than just looking like me. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see. But you know, I can't let you live. Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
All right, Shadow. Time for me to finish this.
and welcome one and all to the final boss of the Dark Story, and I accidentally locked myself into a bad homing attack right off the bat. Either way, this is Shadow vs. Sonic, the other side of things, and it is essentially the same thing as the first time around. We just have to spin dash into him a couple of times, and then wait for him to launch an attack so that we can attack him a couple more times. And unfortunately, we ourselves don't get access to our Chaos powers this time around, which would be absolutely awesome, unlocking the full power of the ultimate life form. But unfortunately, we don't have access to any of that, just like we didn't in any of the Knuckles vs. Rouge fights or the Eggman vs. Tails fights. Either way, we are the ultimate life form, and honestly, Shadow would probably be the likely victor here because he's got so many Chaos powers, because he is the ultimate life form. Or is he? I don't know. Rouge showed him that newspaper earlier with an article about like a giant lizard on it or something, and she said that Shadow, the Shadow that we know at least, is not the ultimate life form. So what was up with that? I don't know. Is Shadow the ultimate life form? I suppose only time will tell. Time, backed by destruction of this annoying blue hedgehog right here. Yes, we are on the verge of world domination. We are on the verge of defeating the heroes and ending this game. So, let's go ahead. Let Sayok... Sayok? What's a Sayok? Let Sonic Chaos Control up ahead and let him do his Sonic Wind, which I guess... Is that like a Chaos power derived from the fake Chaos Emerald, or is that like an ability of his? I really have no idea. That was badly executed though. Let's let him Sonic Wind one more time. Go on up ahead, buddy. Do whatever attacks that you want. I'll homing attack out of the way and destroy you. And there we go. We have won, and the world is ours.
This completes my plan to take over the world. Now begins the glorious era of the Empire of Eggman.
And that, everybody, is the Dark Story of Sonic Adventure 2, and as you guys saw, even though it is the second story of the game, the one that the Hero Story recommended we play afterward, things aren't quite over yet. There was a warning on the screen there at the end, and so this story is not over, and I don't know why I'm talking about this like nobody knew about it, because if you know anything about Sonic games, and if you know anything about this game, Sonic Adventure 2 is not yet over. That's right, there's a last story in which we're going to be settling everything, and it is absolutely awesome if I do say so myself. But yeah, Sonic games have always sort of been like that after you collect the... Well, I was going to say, just in the classic games, after you collected the 7 Chaos Emeralds, you got to turn into Super Sonic or whatever and go fight Dr. Eggman one last time. But I suppose, in a way, collecting the 7 Chaos Emeralds was the stipulation for unlocking the last story in this one as well, because Eggman just collected the 7 Chaos Emeralds right there, and now we have the last story unlocked. So I guess it's just a modern reinterpretation of collecting the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Either way, we are going to be taking the last story on in the next episode of Sonic Adventure 2. And you know what? Now that I think about it, the whole Super Sonic motif where only Sonic and a couple of his friends can go super is kind of lame. I mean, why in the last story can Eggman not go super and prevent whatever bad stuff is happening from happening? I mean, you could turn his mustache golden, have it flapping all over the place, and have power just exuding out of it, but I don't know. I suppose that would be kind of silly, and it's just not his style to get his hands dirty. Although in this game, well, I suppose he was in a robot, so he wasn't really getting his hands dirty. He was getting a bunch of bullets dirty instead. Either way, that was the Dark Story, and if I might comment on its quality real quick, it was fun. I really loved it. I really loved especially the mech levels in the Dark Story. Real quick, I prefer the mech levels in the Dark Story to the Hero Story. Now playing it again, I realize that. As far as the speed-based levels go, the Shadow levels that is, not so much a fan of them as I am of the Sonic levels, especially since they were so clustered toward the end of the story, and I don't think there were as many of them as there were Sonic levels, but they were fun nonetheless. Of course, it was a great story, I loved playing through it, and thank you all very much for bearing through it with me, and I probably shouldn't use the word bearing because that has generally negative connotations, and I don't want to say anything negative about this because I loved the Dark Story. I loved the feeling of trying to take over the world. I loved that feeling of power you got in all of Eggman's levels where he was just blasting robots out of the sky. I absolutely loved the Dark Story. I loved the tone behind it, the personality of all the characters, how you really actually do feel evil throughout all of this. and I think it was a great compliment to the hero story. Either way, that's the dark story of Sonic Adventure 2, and as you guys know, things are not over quite yet. So, thank you all very much for watching this half of the story. I don't know if you consider this ending real or the hero one, but it doesn't matter, because next time on Sonic Adventure 2, I hope you tune in, because we're going to be finishing the game up with the last story. Thanks once again for watching, and I will see you guys then.
The ultimate life form.
Chaos
Vengeance.
Space calling prayer.
Supersonic.
Collision.
Untamed power. Maria.
Professor Gerald.
The truth about 50 years ago.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.